Hi everyone, it's Sam from Sitemate. A construction log is a daily or weekly record of all the key activities occurring on site, typically filled out by the foreman or supervisor, though sometimes there's input from engineers as well. It contains details about site conditions, about work activities, who was on site, what equipment was used on site, records of material deliveries, any incidents, any delays, as well as progress photos. And it goes by many names. Sometimes it's called a site diary, a daily log, a daily report, construction log. There's lots of names for this, but effectively it's doing the same thing. It's just painting a picture for that particular day of all the activities that were going on, who was there, what was happening. And in this video, we're going to look at how you can streamline the way that you generate these daily log records using Dashpivot, making records easy to create, easy to keep organized, and ultimately easier to find later down the track. So you can see that we've got our daily log template set up already. No forms have been created just yet, so the first step is to click the green button over here. And we've got our template that's already been set up. So we can start to fill out some of these fields with the date, notes on which contractors were on site, some details about the weather and the ground conditions. There's a section for labor, so we can see who was on site. We can add multiple rows if we need to. We can delete them as well. We've got some drop downs here for the types of works that were being completed, and we can, on this template, we can enter in the number of hours that maybe we were working for each of these contractors, how many hours they worked. And for each line item, this table has a photos column, so we can click on add photos. And if we're doing this via the mobile app, it's very easy to open up the camera, take the photo, add a description, add some tags, and click save when we're done, and that photo will be linked to this daily log. And we can continue to work our way down the form, filling out these tables, filling out these text fields here with free text for safety comments and changes to plan. And at the very bottom, we've got this daily sign-off. So we can sign off on this daily log. It will stamp our signature with the date and time, and once we're happy with that, we can click save. And our record is now sitting inside of Dashpivot. Easy to come back to. We can click on it to open it up. If we want to make changes, we can make those changes and then click save at the bottom. So we've got that sitting in there. And then over time, you'll probably end up with something that looks a little bit more like this, where you've got the timeline view, which stores all of the daily logs day by day. So you can see the 5th of July, the 4th, the 3rd, the 2nd, etc. So you can see everything stored in the correct order. And then one of the great things about Dashpivot is that we can convert this timeline view into a register view. And what that's doing is it's creating a row for every daily log which we've set up, and we've got a column for each of the fields. So we've got a column for the date, a column for the weather conditions, the contractors on site, the labor, any photos, etc. So we've got all of that information stored there. We can scroll down, etc. So what's really handy about Dashpivot is that we can then export this information if we need to. So we can make a selection, and you'll see that the export options appear up the top. We can select individually or bulk select everything, and then we can export it as a CSV if we need to pop it into Excel, and we've got the option to download this register as a PDF, or just download the individual forms. So each of these forms, download it onto a PDF with company branding and all the relevant details. The last thing that I want to show you inside of Dashpivot is the analytics related to the daily log. So if we've got notes in here about each contractor and how many hours they've worked, what we can do inside of Dashpivot is automatically plot that using our analytics. So what it's going to do is it's going to just take all of these quantity or numbers here, quantities here. In this case, the quantity is just hours. But in the analytics, Dashpivot will be able to recognize that that's a quantity field when you set up your chart. And you can see here, this is a quantity chart. It's pulling the information from our daily log. And then we've got some details about which table and which column in that table it's pulling that information from. And effectively what it's done is it's just populated with different colors representing the different contractors that we had in our drop-down menu. We can then see the total number of hours for each day. So we can see that as we hover on each of these, we can see the quantity. So 16 here for ABC, 4 hours for Go, and then for Dig there's 16. And we can see that each day broken down by different colors. And then this line up the top here is the cumulative value. So the total number of hours to date. So we can see that over the course of this short duration here, sort of a week and a half, we can see that we've got 303 hours. And you can see that that's basically what turns this line on is by toggling this S-curve here. So that's really one of the great things about Dashpivot is that once we're inputting our information, we can automatically plot that and get those insights automatically. So if you want to get started with a daily log template inside of Dashpivot, it's very easy. Just click on Add New Template. You can build your own from scratch, but we have a daily log template that you can access via our free public template library. If you search for daily log or daily diary, it comes up. And that can be a great starting point. You can always go back in and modify it if you want to add some more detail, or you want to take out some of the fields that are in there. Maybe you want to make it a little simpler. That's all up to you. And if you need any help with anything, we've got our live chat down the bottom here, so we can open that up and we can start a new conversation with someone in the team, or we can search through our knowledge base of articles. We can click on any of these and it pulls up an article explaining that particular use case and any videos that are associated with that, notes about the features and the best practices. It's all stored inside of here. So that's really how you can streamline your daily construction logs with Dashpivot. I hope that this video has been useful, and as always, thanks for watching.